What's up guys and welcome to Xbox On. Now you may have noticed that PUBG on Xbox One recently got an update adding in what I think is the best mode or feature that PUBG has had on PC for a while now, and that's first person only mode. So in this video I'm going to give you some tips on how to do the best that you possibly can, as the game definitely plays a lot differently to the traditional third person mode that you'll have been playing so far on the Xbox One. You'll also notice that the game seems to get a lot more intense as the circle gets smaller, as you can't see as much as you can in third person and can't just hide behind a tree until you spot someone crawling in the grass. Which brings me on to my first tip for first person only mode. Because you now can't use the third person camera to hide behind cover until you spot someone, you'll want to take advantage of the lean feature to minimize the amount of your body that's on show when shooting from behind cover. To do this, while aiming down your sights, just click the left thumbstick to lean left and click the right thumbstick to lean right. This will help you out in so many situations. If you're trying to peek around a corner to see if an enemy is there, or if you're in a gunfight and want to try and make it as hard as possible for your opponent to hit you. I cannot stress enough how much this has already helped me out in getting a couple of chicken dinners in this mode already. My next tip is for whenever you enter a building to do some good old-fashioned looting is check your corners. Open the door from the side and not just stood in the middle of the door frame, and then slowly move in checking the room, because if someone is hiding inside, they'll have heard you open the door and be ready for you. So if you just blindly run in, you're going to end up becoming a nice and easy kill for the enemy. But one tactic that is now a lot more viable is camping in a building within the zone. Before, in third person, if someone rushed you within a building, being on the top floors you would tend to have a disadvantage. But because of your new point of view and the slight change in angles, holding off in a building, especially in duos or squads, can help you survive for so much longer. So once you've got yourself geared up, find the nearest building and defend it until you have to move if you get unlucky with the zone. Now, one thing that many of you will be happy to know is that vehicles are nowhere near as powerful in first person only mode compared to the traditional third person, because you don't have that incredible peripheral vision that helps you spot everyone super easily while speeding around the map in a car. Instead, you can only really see what's exactly in front of you. While you still can get a few kills by running people over, it's more likely that you'll get shot from the side with no idea whatsoever where you're being shot from. So a big tip of mine is to use vehicles when you have to get to a certain part of the map, and then ditch them and stay on foot, because you firstly won't make everyone on the map know exactly where you are, because vehicles are so loud in PUBG. Secondly, being on foot will allow you to keep checking your surroundings a lot easier, so you can spot if someone is coming up from behind you. And finally, you're going to find yourself getting a lot more kills, because you'll be able to sneak up on enemies a lot easier on first person mode compared to third person, which brings me on to my next tip. Make sure you try and approach enemies you spot from behind, and do not, I repeat, do not shoot until you can either be certain that you'll be able to take them out, or they turn around and spot you, which from my personal experience in this mode doesn't seem to happen very often, as everyone is always so focused on where they're running to rather than what's behind them. So my next tip may seem a little bit more obvious now, and that's every so often take cover by a tree and look behind you to see if anyone's coming your way, because now you've lost that amazing peripheral vision that you had in third person. It's a lot easier to miss enemies that are running near you, especially if you're following the blue wall in. Also, while you're moving in the game, just take a moment to keep quickly checking your left and right hand sides to help you spot enemies as quickly as possible, and you'll be shocked at how doing such a small thing will help you survive so much longer and rack up a few more kills. Now, I've played PUBG a lot since it came out on Xbox One, and one thing I think is essential to getting yourself some chicken dinners, especially in first person mode, is using a pair of headphones. Firstly, because you now don't get as many visual cues that you would get in third person, as you can't just quickly check your entire surroundings whilst hiding behind a rock with the RB button. So being able to hear the direction of any gunfire, footsteps, or a vehicle in the distance will help you so much in either picking up kills or avoiding conflict completely, depending on how you want to play. But because sound is now so important in the new first person mode, the most powerful attachment that you can now find in the game is a suppressor. I managed to find one for an assault rifle, and it not only helped me get a chicken dinner, but also clock up 10 kills in the process. So if you find one, ditch whatever else you have and put it straight onto your gun, and you'll be shocked at how many gunfights you win, with your opponent having absolutely no idea where the shots are coming from. It can actually be quite funny to watch. Now, one tip that I feel is quite possibly the most important is to make sure you're using as much cover as possible, whether that's a tree where you're taking full advantage of the lean feature, or even the shadows that the trees create, or big rocks, which especially at the end of the game will be the difference between winning or losing. You'll also want to try and have the high ground as much as possible, but with one of the games that I managed to win with my brother in duos, we were able to use the big rock, which had a great firing position from the top of it, but whenever we got hit we could drop down and use our meds, which allowed us to win the game. So taking advantage of all the cover you can is so important, but in first person it's also crucial to know when to play aggressively, because when someone is using meds, which can take anywhere from 4 seconds to 10 seconds, they can no longer see if someone is rushing up to kill them, which is always so useful in third person mode. So if you know an enemy is healing up, don't stay exactly where you were, move. If they're nearby, try and rush them to get the kill whilst they're using their meds. If they're a bit further away, change your position so they have no idea where you are, so then you have the chance to get the jump on them. Just always try to be thinking ahead and what you would be doing in that player's situation, and then try to take advantage of it. But those are some tips for the brand new first person mode that's just come to PUBG on your Xbox One. Make sure to give it a go because it is a lot of fun, and personally I think it's a lot more intense than the traditional mode. Also, make sure to share your own tips down in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and make sure to drop a like on the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!